From the Yonkers Statesman, October 4, 1916. Headline, Will Not Attempt to Run Its Cars. The rumored threat of the Yonkers Railroad to run its cars in violation of the prohibitory 15-day ordinance, in order, it was said, to test its validity, has no foundation, it was learned today. No effort will be made to operate trolleys until the troublesome law is either repealed or amended, it was announced. Last night, when it was feared that mob violence would again disturb the peace of the city shortly after midnight, Police Chief Daniel Wolf stated that he had received no word that such an attempt would be made and had made no extraordinary preparations for such a contingency. Nothing unusual marked the regular morning meeting of the strikers in their headquarters, Hibernian Hall. Headline, Labor Parade. Mayor Lennon and the Board of Aldermen have accepted invitations to review the Labor Parade to be held in Yonkers tomorrow night. It starts from the foot of Main Street at 8 o'clock. Headline, Milk Shortage Near Famine Stage. Milk in Yonkers is at a premium today, for the threatened famine has approached. When dealers' wagons rolled around to the various restaurants in the small hours of the morning, they brought much less milk than usual. One establishment, whose usual quota is from 40 to 60 quarts of the commodity, had to be content with but 15. Some restaurants announced that hereafter glasses of milk would not be sold. Borden's Condensed Milk Company received less than 25% of its usual consignment this morning. Quote, In my opinion, this is the worst day of the shortage that we'll have, unquote, the superintendent told the Statesman reporter. He continued, It is a mistake to assume that the Borden Company does not deal directly with the farmers. We have bought our milk from them through individual contract for the last 60 years and shall continue to do so. Headline, Barge Terminal Site for Yonkers. The prospects for the establishment in Yonkers of a freight terminal in connection with the State Barge Canal is considered to have been greatly improved as a result of a visit to the city yesterday afternoon of State Engineer and Surveyor Frank M. Williams, who was accompanied by State Public Works Superintendent W. W. Witherspoon and his deputy, H. D. Alexander. These state officials appeared favorably impressed by the availability of Yonkers with its long line of waterfront as a distribution point for southern Westchester County and the southern portion of Connecticut. The Public Wharf, Saunders Wharf, Gashouse Wharf, and Ludlow Wharf were inspected, but no indication was given by the officials as to which would be best suited for their purpose, except that it was generally agreed that the last two wharves named were probably unavailable and the cost of their purchase would be too high. During the conversation, it was stated that State Engineer Williams, who was a candidate for re-election this fall, has been much interested during his term in the establishment of barge canal terminals in the lower Hudson River. He has on occasion made recommendations to the Barge Canal Board along this line, and he is much in favor of including Yonkers in the list of places in the lower Hudson at which a terminal should be established. It was learned that among the other towns also being considered as canal terminals are Peekskill, Newburgh, and Poughkeepsie. The good impression which seemed to be made upon the state officials, and the intimation given that the claims of Yonkers would be given favorable consideration, have encouraged the members of the Chamber of Commerce present to hope that, after several years of arduous labors to bring before the state government the availability of Yonkers as a barge canal terminal, their efforts will be rewarded with success. Headline, Colonel Harvey out for use. Colonel George Harvey, who was the first to propose Woodrow Wilson for President of the United States in 1906, and who strove unceasingly in his behalf until requested by the candidate in 1913 to stop for fear of offending the Bryanites, comes out squarely for use in the forthcoming number of the North American Review. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.